We have seen so many big failures in the video game industry over the past couple of years, and one that I'm not going to forget about anytime soon is the Marvel's Avengers game. They came out with that years after the Avengers hype had died out. It was a really low quality live service title, but recently, of course, Marvel's Rivals came out. It's been doing absolutely fantastic. And now that a lot of the designs in these two games are being compared, it just goes to show developers that listen to gamers and developers that don't. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, when the Marvel's Avengers game came out, we were all roasting it because of how terrible a lot of the characters looked. They all have such boxy models. Their costumes are supposed to be closer in line with their MCU counterparts, but they're just like really cheap cosplay looking ones, and none of their faces look like their MCU counterparts. Like Black Widow looks nothing like Scarlett Johansson. Captain America looked nothing like Chris Evans. You name it, they looked completely different. But on the flip side, Marvel's Rivals has a lot of the MCU skins, which look fantastic, but it's definitely a very stylized look. It honestly just looks so much closer to what you would expect from a comic book video game or a comic book IP video game. It looks really great, and a lot of people have been praising these designs because they look high quality, because they're very dynamic, and in a lot of cases, they look just very attractive. Look at female characters like Black Widow, look at Luna. Then, if you look at Venom, even Venom's caked up, and it's become such a meme at this point. But now a lot of the suits are being compared, and it just really goes to show that style will always beat out realism. Here's Captain America, for example. I mean, yes, we're talking about much less realistic body proportions in terms of a game like Rivals, but I would rather characters look amazing than look like they are people. And even with the like of Marvel's Avengers video game costumes, some of them don't even look more realistic. They just look really low effort like this. What the hell is this supposed to be? Come on now. It looks so one-dimensional. It looks so bland. And yes, sure, this Thor costume doesn't really scream, comics to me, but it looks significantly better. If you aren't going to take a suit that's already been designed in the past and you're going to come up with original ideas, like the Holiday Groot skin, for example, at least make them look really good. And that's what they did. This is one of the worst examples, in my opinion. Iron Man, it's supposed to be the MCU suits in both of them, looks absolutely badass on the left. And then over here, it looks so rushed. It looks so bland. And then if you look at the females, I mean, how are you supposed to sit here and really choose between these two? Because there is seriously no competition. The Rivals design for Widow actually looks like a woman. She looks sexy, she looks strong, she looks badass, and then over here, she's a flat board. Here's another Widow suit. Again, all of her curves are showing. Her suit is hugging in all of the right places. It looks tight. And on the right, it looks like saggy and baggy, and she's got no feminine features about her. Even look at the hairstyles. They're supposed to be similar, yet that's just what happens when you have character concept designers who are decent. Now, we are talking about two very different companies here, right? On the rival side of things, you have Marvel Games, and then you have NetEase, a Chinese company. They are known for a lot of their gotcha games, and they are known for, basically putting these designs in people's faces so that they will actually get players in their game. And then on the flip side, you have Square Enix and Crystal Dynamics, who made the Avengers game. Now, the Avengers game, the only problem was not just the character designs and kind of the low quality, but it was also the grinding. Oh my god, you had to grind so much in that game to get anywhere. It was microtransactions, it was the repetitive content and the repetitive nature of the game. It was just a terrible experience all around. But you also have to take into consideration that we are talking about Crystal Dynamics, who over the past few years has become a very progressive company. They were purchased by Amazon, yes, but even before that purchase happened, they started going very politically correct, and it just proves these design differences. I mean, they're, of course, the company who has butchered Lara Croft over the years. They are the ones who came up with the new Lara Croft designs. They are the ones that came up with the new Joanna Dark designs for Perfect Dark. And they're the ones who are hiring designers who claim gamers were a mistake as part of a long history of unhinged attacks on fans. And they are also the ones who, yes, ultimately decided to go in this direction. The Tomb Raider Shadows of the Truth TTRPG guidebook confirms Crystal Dynamics is working to apologize for the franchise's colonialist origins and her colonialist roots. And I mean, it's absolutely fucking cringe that we can't just have amazing characters doing very amazing, unrealistic things anymore. And this is why I do not trust Crystal Dynamics. So on the flip side, you have Marvel's games and you have NetEase, who are creating these gorgeous females. And on the right side in this image, you have Crystal Dynamics, who over the years has apologized for having attractive characters and who has apologized for those fictional characters, quote, colonialist roots. And they're hiring gaming hating developers. And well, I'm sorry, if this is the direction they're going to continue to go in, they're not going to get a single penny more from me. And I know a lot of people would agree. And all of these costumes are being compared, and a lot of gamers are roasting the Avengers design, saying that is not Hawkeye. So these are some of the cringiest designs I've seen in a while. I mean, Jesse Pinkman is in Avengers. Realism by far has got to be the worst way to represent comic book media. See what happens when you just let the artist be an artist and flourish. I 100% agree. All of the Avengers ones just look like motherfuckers in cosplays, Marvel Rivals style for the win. Who is this? The absolute disrespect. Black Panther looks so badass in Rivals, full suit, really bright, really cool, three-dimensional. And then you got this guy who's just showing up. He's here. I guess as long as he's part of the roster, that's all they care about. Notice how the Western designs are so square and rectangular. The Eastern designs gave the men that defined V shapes with broad shoulders and the women with a more defined hourglass shape. Widow and Tony nearly have the same rectangle body in Avengers. It just looks like cheap cosplay, man. The difference is insane. I'm really glad that they went in the comic book route for a comic book video game when it came to Rivals. I've been playing it still. I've been having a really great time with it, and I think that it's really awesome to see a game thriving that is genuinely fun, that doesn't feature predatory microtransactions or gameplay loops, and it just seems that they have some passionate people behind this project. And even if they're not passionate, they know what gamers want and they really delivered. And maybe this will be a wake-up call for Crystal Dynamics, though I highly doubt it, and gamers are roasting them and they definitely deserve it. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.